I want to talk to you guys about this letter, right? The letter that the Iranian president has issued out to the American citizens, to the United States citizens. Number one, it was to the United States citizens, not the United States government. Mind you, the United States government has been pleading for weeks now, for about 2 weeks, to have conversations with Iran, and Iran has denied it each and every time. They came to us. That's a red flag. So already before even reading it, I'm already like, this is not a good sign. After reading it, I'm like, oh no, this is definitely not a good sign. Now, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, right? But my understanding, my perception of this letter is that this is Iran's last attempt in them defending themselves, explaining their stance, and also issuing out the truth to the United States citizens. This is their last time trying to explain everything to us. And when I say that this is their last time explaining to us, this is their last time explaining before everything that's about to go down actually goes down. Because once that starts, right? Once that phase of this war begins, Iran will not have time to explain to you all, United States citizens, why everything is going down the way that it's going down. They are giving us this last opportunity to basically accept the truth at our own discretion. The way that Iran organized that letter, they said everything that they needed to say. Everything that they needed to say. They started off with their history, highlighting that they have one of the oldest civilizations in history, and that throughout their entire history, not once have they ever initiated a war. Iran's president stated that throughout the entire existence of Iran, that they do not have one moment in history that supports or provides evidence that Iran has ever supported or condoned colonialism, destruction, domination, has initiated any war ever, that they have never imposed any type of sanction that has impacted the civilians of any nation. They broke that down, unlike the United States. After stating that historical fact, Iran, in the letter, states that portraying Iran as a threat is neither consistent with historical reality nor with present-day observable facts. And in the letter, they say all of that to explain how is it that your government was able to successfully run this propaganda about us, Iran, starting the war when we don't even have the history that supports that we are capable of this, that we do this. They are trying to make you, the American citizen, who is supposed to be the reader, understand exactly what's going on. A country that has never, throughout its entire history, who is older than the United States, has never initiated a war, yet the United States was able to successfully spread propaganda about this country and this war. Let that sink in. In the letter, Iran explained to everybody that the Iranian people have no hate towards the American citizens, towards any European, towards anybody, to be honest, right? That they, right, in their government, has always made the clear distinction between government and the people. You understand how that distinction is deeply rooted in principle and collective consciousness, something that we don't have here in the United States. He pointed it out. That statement was not only made to disgrace and shame the United States government, but also the citizens, the active citizens that elected these people into these positions. And then right before the letter ends, you're now at the point, if you're reading it, right? You are 3/4 into the letter. Iran poses the fundamental question, exactly which of the American people's interests are truly being served by this war? Was there any objective threat from Iran to justify such behavior? They're asking you, the United States citizens, what did they do to deserve this? What can your government, the American government, say to justify such actions? What did they do? The American citizens. They want you guys to open up your eyes and see what the fuck is going on. All of these actions that the United States government is implementing, is imposing, on whose interest, on behalf of whose interest are they for? Iran stated multiple times in that letter that they will defend themselves, and they are defending themselves, that they will not stand down. This letter is their last attempt in explaining their position to the United States citizens before what goes down actually goes the fuck down. That's it.
I don't know how many times this orange-headed beast lied. He lied so damn much I could not keep up. One, he said that there was actual talks between him and Iran. There are no fucking talks. And the regime changes happened after y'all assassinated their leaders. Two, he said he's taking out their Navy, their Air Force. They barely got anything. If they barely got anything, why the fuck are they taking out Israel left and right? Inflation is not down. It's almost at 4%. Economy is not booming. It's barely making it. We are steady at the moment. Employment is between 4.4 and 4.6. Low hire and we gonna fire. Gas is around $4 a goddamn gallon. None of our allies are coming to our rescue. He lied on service members, family members talking about they told him to finish the job. They did not say that shit. All he did was try to boast about himself and how great he was doing and how great he did at removing Obama's trading deal with Iran. He also lied about Iran being the ones that attacked first. When it came to Wigs R Us bragging about those B-2 bombers he did last year, baby, we didn't hit shit. They confirmed it. Strait of Hormuz still belongs to Iran. They still popping off on everybody and mama. We don't have a ceasefire deal. There are no communications. And our economy is suffering for it. And we're losing service members because of it. And all that motherfucker can do out there is just brag about what he's done. He's done nothing. He's a fucking idiot.
I watched Donald Trump's speech last night to the nation, so you didn't have to, but here are some of the most ridiculous things he said that are just flat out lies.
The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history. We're going through it right now, the strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country, made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year.
The United States economy is doing horribly right now. Gas is almost $6 a gallon in California. People can't afford rent. People can't afford bills. The price of groceries is higher than ever. And to hear the president, who is a billionaire, go online and rant about the stock prices, which the average American doesn't own, and how America is doing better than ever, when internally American citizens feel as if the money being spent abroad can be spent here to focus on school, daycare, healthcare, and infrastructure, is a slap in the face. So once again, I'm going to ask this throughout this video: how do you guys who are poor from Iowa, Nebraska, and farmers continue to support a man who only fills his coffers and makes his friends rich?
Then we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it. The countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on.
The United States imports roughly 600,000 barrels a day from Saudi Arabia and up to 350,000 barrels a day from Iraq. This oil all comes through the Strait of Hormuz. And even if it didn't, global markets dictate the price of oil, which is why the oil increase and shortage around the world cause prices to go up. Trump has also threatened to stop sending aid to Ukraine if the Europeans do not help his war in Iran, to come on and start a war that no one needed because Iran wasn't actual imminent threat to us and weren't going to attack us, because Iran doesn't officially attack other nations in the region, especially abroad, and then try to rope the EU into your war, and then now you're blaming them for not securing the Strait of Hormuz because you're scared to go in to Iran and actually fight them head on?
In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks.
Not only has this war been sloppy, unnecessary, and messy, you have actually bombed a children's school with hundreds of kids in it. So no, your actions have not been swift and have not been direct. We've also shot at our own planes, and we've also had our own army personnel injured by America and America's actions. So no. And to continuously claim that Iran is decimated while Iran is sending out videos inviting America's and troops to come on the ground, saying that they're ready for you and showing their Navy, you can't just continuously lie, because American eyes have not even seen your efforts in the war. We haven't seen anything. All we've seen is you bomb a couple of factories. That doesn't mean Iran is decimated, and I doubt that they're decimated, because they're on a bombing campaign right now in Israel and in the Middle East, your allies.
The second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East. And yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies.
America produces the most oil in the world. That is a true statement. But what he's leaving out, and what most MAGA dummies won't even research, is why we import. We're a net oil importer. We actually export more oil than we import. But we import around 8 million barrels of oil a day because our refineries are not made for the crude, for the oil that we actually have in America. So America produces something called like light sweet crude oil. Our refineries, though, are made for sour, heavy crude oil, the oil that comes from other places, to refine that. So it's easier for us to export our oil and for us to import the oil. But just so you know, the oil that we actually use in this country is imported, not our own oil. I mean, the more he talks about Iran, this whole video, is the more it sounds like he's talking about Israel. And I think that is just projection of everything that's going on. To continuously say, like, we've never seen any military action like this before. The world has never seen it. I'm the greatest president to ever do anything. Show us the tapes. Show us this illustrious force of America taking out the Iranian regime. Show us that Iran is toppled. Show us that they don't exist anymore, because you're lying. I think having to have endured this man my whole life, being a New Yorker, I've endured Trump my whole life. So he's been a scamming, a lying sleazeball from Queens my whole life. But now to see his scams and his lies dictate the will of the American people when the majority of American people don't support what he's doing, is so infuriating. Because the things he's lying about, I know people are believing, but it's all easily researchable.
Iran just released a letter to the United States civilians basically saying put up or shut up. They released a letter to us basically exposing everything that the United States president and the executive branch is lying about. And they basically said, we're not your enemy. Iran wrote that letter because whatever comes next, if we don't stop it, they're not responsible for. Iran just wrote a letter to the United States civilians the way that Osama bin Laden wrote a letter in 2002 and 2009. And Osama bin Laden wrote a letter to the American people saying why he was attacking and doing 9/11. It was because of Palestine. Not because of just Israel, but because of the United States actions in Palestine. 9/11 had to do with a CIA agent that went rogue because he saw exactly what he wasn't taught. The lie. And as somebody that studied outside of the United States of America in South Africa and England, the lie is that they're telling you the truth. Iran just gave us our last warning. And I need to figure out what the fuck to do about it. Or they're gonna hit soil.
And I'm just gonna sum it up. Basically, he said to the right, to MAGA, to fucking Republicans, the Republican Party, right? This is basically what he says. You're being fucking misled by your fucking government. Open your fucking eyes. You're being lied to every day. And if you want to know the latest lie that he told, he says that Iran is begging for a ceasefire, and Iran comes back and checks his ass and says, no, we're not. We're in this for the long haul. Iran has never initiated war. If you go through your history, right? They've always reacted. And this is not the first time the American government has meddled in Iranian affairs. I don't know if you guys know this, but back in 1952, they meddled in their political structure and took them from moving towards a democracy and brought them back into a dictatorship. So Iran is a little bit fucking bitter. But while you thought you were suppressing them, Iran says they've grown 30%. We all know that they have the oil and they're strategically positioned. And they're saying they're in it. And as long as the United States continues to go after them, they will continue to defend themselves. And so he is begging the American people, does this war benefit you? As our economy and our gas prices are going up, I just want you to know that this is going to cost us trillions. We're already into the billions a day. And it's just rising. It's a conflict that involves 17 fucking nations and is growing. This does not benefit us. But you know who it does benefit? Who does it benefit that's over there? Remember they were trying to make that strip? Remember that? Remember that strip? That's who it benefits the most. Because those are the ones that are saying that Iran is this big threat. But there's no history of that. Now don't get me wrong.
right? We're going to have terrorists always, from Iraq. We're going to have them from everywhere. But at the end of the day, wake the fuck up. The world is telling you to wake up. Take Iran out of this motherfucker. The world is telling you to wake up. And Republican Party, MAGA, you are destroying our fucking country. You are destroying our country. You're destroying our reputation. You are destroying the position that we had in the fucking world. And it's only getting worse by the day. I paid $5 per gas the other day. And if any fucking body wants me to give them the numbers from when Biden was president, I will fucking gladly do so because I still fucking have them. I challenge you. We're already $39 trillion in debt to other countries, China being one of them. But I digress. Yeah, I have.
The Iranian president penned an open letter to the people of the United States, titling it, "In the Name of God, the Compassionate, the Merciful." Let's read what he wrote, because it's pretty powerful and we all need to hear it. To the people of the United States of America, and to all those who amid a flood of distortions and manufactured narratives continue to seek the truth and aspire to a better life. Iran, by the very name, character, and identity, is one of the oldest continuous civilizations in human history. Despite its historical and geographical advantages at various times, Iran has never, in its modern history, chosen the path of aggression, expansion, colonialism, or domination, even after enduring occupation, invasion, and sustained pressure from global powers. And despite possessing military superiority over many of its neighbors, Iran has never initiated a war. Yet it has resolutely and bravely repelled those who have attacked it. The Iranian people harbor no enmity towards other nations, including the people of America, Europe, or neighboring countries. Even in the face of repeated foreign interventions and pressures throughout their proud history, Iranians have consistently drawn a clear distinction between governments and the peoples they govern. This is a deeply rooted principle in Iranian culture and collective consciousness, not a temporary political stance. For this reason, portraying Iran as a threat is neither consistent with historical reality nor with present-day observable facts. Such a perception is the product of political and economic whims of the powerful. The need to manufacture an enemy in order to justify pressure, maintain military dominance, sustain the arms industry, and control strategic narratives. In such an environment, if a threat does not exist, it is invented. Within this same framework, the United States has concentrated the largest number of its forces, bases, and military capabilities around Iran, a country that, at least since the founding of the United States, 250 years, has never initiated a war. Recent American aggressions launched from these very bases have demonstrated how threatening such a military presence truly is. Naturally, no country confronted with such conditions would forego strengthening its defensive capabilities. What Iran has done and continues to do is a measured response grounded in legitimate self-defense, and by no means an initiation of war or aggression on the lives of the resilient Iranian people must not be underestimated. The continuation of military aggression and recent bombings profoundly affects people's lives, attitudes, and perspectives. This reflects a fundamental human truth. When war inflicts irreparable harm on lives, homes, cities, and futures, people will not remain indifferent towards those responsible. This raises a fundamental question. Exactly which of the American people's interests are truly being served by this war? Was there any objective threat from Iran to justify such behavior? Does the massacre of innocent children, the destruction of cancer treatment pharmaceutical facilities, or boasting about bombing a country back to the Stone Ages serve any purpose other than further damaging the United States' global standing? Iran pursued negotiations, reached an agreement, and fulfilled all its commitments. The decision to withdraw from that agreement, escalate towards confrontation, and launch 2 acts of aggression in the midst of the negotiations were destructive choices made by the U.S. government, choices that served the delusions of a foreign aggressor. Attacking Iran's vital infrastructure, including energy and industrial facilities, directly targets the Iranian people. Beyond constituting a war crime, such actions carry consequences that extend far beyond Iran's borders. They generate instability, increase human and economic costs, and perpetrate cycles of tension, planting seeds of resentment that will endure for years. This is not a demonstration of strength. It is a sign of strategic bewilderment and an inability to achieve a sustainable solution. Is it not also the case that America has entered this aggression as a proxy for Israel, influenced and manipulated by that regime? Is it not true that Israel, by manufacturing an Iranian threat, seeks to divert global attention away from its crimes towards the Palestinians? Is it not evident that Israel now aims to fight Iran to the last American soldier and the last American taxpayer dollar, shifting the burden of its delusions onto Iran, the region, and the United States itself in pursuit of illegitimate interests? Is America first truly among the priorities of the U.S. government today? I invite you to look beyond the machinery of misinformation, an integral part of this aggression, and instead speak with those who have visited Iran. Observe the many accomplished Iranian immigrants educated in Iran who now teach and conduct research at the world's most prestigious universities or contribute to the most advanced technology firms in the West. Do these realities align with the distortions you are being told about Iran and its people? Today, the world stands at a crossroad. Continuing along the path of confrontation is more costly and futile than ever before. The choice between confrontation and engagement is both real and consequential. Its outcome will shape the future for generations to come. Throughout this millennia of proud history, Iran has outlasted many aggressors. All that remains of them are tarnished names in history, while Iran endures, resilient, dignified, and proud. This is a drastically different letter than what we're going to hear from Donald Trump in just about an hour's time as he takes to the national airwaves in the United States to update us on Iran. This is what true leadership looks like from a foreign country that we're supposedly at war with. He's penning a letter to the United States, inviting us to reject what our government is doing to his people in the name of a foreign country that is controlling our leaders. This is what measured leadership, true leadership, looks and sounds like.
So guys, there we go again. A lie after another lie. I don't know how we are going to ever get this thing right, but as it is, this is the situation that is at hand. And I want you for a minute to think and analyze how much it has to have been for Iran to decide and come up with this plan to write a letter to the civilians of America. Yeah, it has taken a lot because for them, they are behaving like mature people. They're behaving like this is now the kind of leadership that every country needs. This is what leadership is, not someone deciding to speak anyhow, not care about the impact that his words have on people, regardless of whether they are Americans or not. This is true leadership that we are seeing from the Iran government. Every time he opens his mouth, it's a lie. And I am afraid that every time he has to say something, you have to start questioning already. You have to start thinking, you have to start doing your own research because you cannot trust what your leader is saying. That is very sad. At the very least, what people need is accountability. At the very least, what people need is to learn and get the truth from their leader. But this man will continue lying. He will continue making up stories. The state is not doing well, but he will not say it. Catch him dead before he says something like that. This is very sad. It's very absurd that a country that America is at war with is even deciding that they need to write a letter to communicate, at least if it helps, to the American civilians. And this is so wrong. But I also want to applaud the Iranian government for whatever they did, and this is absolutely amazing of them that they could think of doing something as that. And this is also an expose for what Mr. Trump is capable of doing. Also, a matter that is of interest to me, and I know to all of you people, is the fact that whatever he is up to, whatever he's fighting, whatever problem he has with Iran is not even for the interest of the Americans. It's for his own interest and the interest of his friends. It has nothing totally to do with the people of America. It has absolutely nothing to do with the people of America. So why then all this just for a few people, for him and his friends? This is wrong. Guys, I don't even have the strength to say a lot. I am feeling a little bit like very annoyed right now. I just want to hear what you people have to say. What do you think about this? Where are we headed? Where is America headed? Well, that is it for today, guys. And I'm so grateful for anyone that has tuned in for the first time. Kindly consider subscribing. And for any returning subscribers, thank you so much for always choosing to be here with me. And consider leaving a comment in the comment section below. I would like to hear your thoughts about this issue. Also, you can share this video, give it a thumbs up if you like it. And I definitely wish and hope to see you on my next one. Bye for now.